Good morning. It's day 6. Just leaving the Carl Newall shelter. Big day again today. Around 22 miles. Trying to push a little bit so I can get to Monson tomorrow afternoon. Last night was a little rough. I'm gonna be honest, definitely the low point of the trip so far. Got a few more blisters, so I think I'm up to five now, and one on the side of my foot, which is concerning. So I might be looking into some new shoes. The ones I'm wearing, the Hoka Speed Goats, I trained with them before I came, but nothing like 20-mile day after 20-mile day type training. I've had good luck with Brooks running shoes, and they make a trail runner, so I'm hoping they have one of those, which I could try. But yeah, blisters I think can happen, but the blisters on the side of the foot, even a little irritation on the arch of my foot, I don't like that, and I've never gotten those before, so I might be looking to switch, or at least get in some of the liners that you can put in that help with blisters. I think they're called Injinji socks. So yeah, yesterday in the tent at night was not good, just staring at my terrible feet, but much better spirits this morning. Ibuprofen, elevating your feet, got like 9 hours of sleep. That'll do wonders. So I let my feet kind of air out yesterday, and then I just taped them all up today, so my feet are padded and taped and feeling pretty good. So I'm pretty confident I can make it all the way there. And yeah, looking forward to getting to Monson. It's kind of on my mind now, because it's been, it's day 6. Didn't get a food drop, so looking forward to getting in, eating a ton, relaxing, taking a 0, and figuring out the blisters and footwear. So I'm not far from the last time I filmed and came across this sign. The northern goshawks, I guess, have been pretty aggressive. They say to put your hiking poles above your head to defend yourself. Yeah, so I got my poles. Man, wasn't expecting that. Hopefully I don't see one. So I made it to the Gulf Haggis Cutoff Trail. Gulf Haggis is super famous around here in Maine. I'm not going to take the cutoff, but probably it's a good idea to come back and try and do this. I think it's just a huge gorge, waterfalls, and from what I've read is really, really special. So also you can see the bottom sign. I think there's a restoration project, so there's going to be a cutoff trail. Pretty sure I read it's around the Chairbacks mountains, which are the big mountains that I have to climb today. I've spent all day so far, and by all day it's only like 9 a.m. so past few hours, just descending, I think around 2,000 feet, and then I will gain all of it back by climbing up the Chairbacks. So big up and down today, but I think the reroute might take some elevation off. And also I heard from another hiker that the reroute goes by this abandoned airplane. There's an airplane crash in this area, and the reroute will go right past that, so I'll be sure to film that too. So I know I already told everyone that I was doing cold soak, but this is how I'm cleaning it. It's kind of gross, but I think it's the best way. You just throw a little water in, and I just finished the oatmeal, so this is all what's left of all the oatmeal. So I just shake it up, and then I just drink it. I mean, it's better. I get a touch more calories, and I'm not putting food stuff into the ground and attracting animals and stuff. So yeah, so that's how I'm cleaning my cold soak jar. I made it to the west branch of the Pleasant River. This one cannot rock hop across this, so I just took my socks off. I'm just gonna go in the trail runners, and they'll dry off as I go later. Probably not the best for the blisters because I had them all taped. But the cold water kind of feels good actually. Okay. I think it was shin deep at most. It was a little slick, especially with the phone. So I'm hiking up East Chairback, I think. One of the Chairbacks. And just got stung by a bee. Maybe two. Heard like this buzzing, and then like a sharp needle in the back of my calf. I'll show you. So kind of looked like there were two. I don't know, maybe I got stung twice. No swelling or anything, but it hurt. Unlucky. Already dealing with blisters. Now I'm dealing with bee stings. Just had the first rainstorm of the entire trip. I've been avoiding saying it because I know I was going to jinx myself. But yeah, it's been really hot and muggy today. And it just kind of dumped down. Afternoon rainstorm. No thunder or anything, and now it's starting to open back up. But yeah, I just wanted to document first break out the rain jacket. Probably going to put it away right now too, just because it's hot. But yeah, every other day has been like high of 80, low of 50, 55, sunny. Yesterday was a little cloudy, but for the most part the weather has been absolutely perfect. The last like half mile up Chairback Mountain going SOBO is no joke. Just boulders straight up. And of course today is the most humid day on the trip, so I'm pouring sweat. Going real slow up this. Alright, so I mentioned earlier that there was a plane crash and a reroute of the trail that goes by this plane crash, so here it is. I'm not gonna go like into the ruins and stuff, but you can see all the stuff is still here. I don't know much about it. From the looks of it, it doesn't look good. I'm sure some people died. But I'm gonna research it when I get service in Monson, and I'll put a link in the description if you want to learn more about the plane crash. Good morning, y'all. So last night got a little crazy. I know yesterday in the video I mentioned I got the first rain, but then I got the first actual downpour. So it was just coming down, even through the trees. Yeah, so I just had to throw on rain gear, put my phone away. I really couldn't film the rest of the day. The last 2 miles were kind of down some rocky ledges, and I made it to Long Pond Shelter last night. Yeah, Barren Mountain. I got through the Chairbacks yesterday, and then Barren Mountain was the last mountain that I had to go down to get to Long Pond Shelter. So I stayed the night last night with this SOBO hiker who's almost done. His name is DIY. We talked for a while and just hung out. He gave me some advice on blisters and just overall, you know, how to thru-hike. So if you're watching this, DIY, thank you. Some of the blister tips were taking your socks off at lunch, letting your feet air out, trying to get some of those Injinji liners, and if that's really not working, change the size of the shoes. So I have a feeling it's the size of the shoes because I'm getting kind of blisters all around, even though this morning they weren't really that bad. A few by the heel, but the one by my toes were pretty much healed. So I just patched those up, and yeah, ate breakfast this morning. It's only about 7:15, and I have 15 miles to the road to get into Monson, so that's the goal for today. 15 miles, hoping to get there late afternoon, and then get a ride to Shaws Hiker Hostel, where I can do some laundry, relax after being out here for a while, rest my feet, and yeah, get some good food. That's probably what I'm most excited for, is to, fill up on whatever I can. So yeah, really looking forward to that. So one thing I've gotten asked a ton out here is what my trail name is, and I do not have one yet. So right now it's just Matt. A few ideas floating around, but also I kind of would like to see if one just comes up naturally. So that's been the plan. But yeah, I'd say most people ask what your trail name is when you're either hiking with them or staying at the shelters, or even day hikers who want to hear about your trip so far. In terms of people, I've been hiking with a few people. One person who started on the 7th with me, we've kind of been going back and forth. And also I've been hiking with I hiked with this guy yesterday. Nicholas, I think his trail name's Cocoa Bean. He's from Sweden. He's on a short-term visa, so he's trying to shoot through this in 3 months, which kudos to him. Yeah, I was hiking with him yesterday, and then in the rain, in the thunderstorms, I kind of lost him. We were supposed to go to the same shelter, and then I didn't see him at the shelter, so hopefully I see him at Shaws tonight. He might have just stopped off at the shelter before. Yeah, but Going SOBO, I'd say there's not as many people. Also, I am moving pretty quick. Definitely past some people. So, not hiking with any kind of group yet. It's mostly just been me. But I'd say there's a lot of people at all the shelters. Definitely haven't had any to myself. In fact, yesterday, it was just me and that one other Novo hiker. And that was the first time it's just been 2 at a shelter. So, for the most part, they've been pretty crowded. I'd say like 5 to 10. And the first night out after Katahdin, it's probably closer to like 15. So, shelters have been pretty crowded in the 100-mile wilderness. Just had to do another river ford of the Big Wilson stream this time. With all the rain yesterday, I think it was definitely not hoppable by rocks, so had to get wet. I didn't show it in the video yesterday, but if you're just going in trail runners or sneakers, take the insoles out too, because those are harder to dry. The rest of the shoe will dry out pretty quick, so if you go in, take your socks off, take your insoles out, and then just go in the sneakers. Could also just bring water shoes if you think that's easier too. But I'm going with the sneaker route. It's worked pretty well. Your feet stay pretty dry and they dry out pretty quick after walking. Maine is hard. Still climbing. Last day, still around 3,000 feet of elevation, which is less than the previous few, but man, the elevation here is just straight up. And I know it's going to get even harder in southern Maine and the whites, but it's tough to get used to right off the bat. So I'm huffing and puffing and sweating. Still have around 4-ish miles left until I hit the road. And man, it has been tough today. Just been super low energy. So this pretty much all of today has been pretty grueling, even though the elevation and distance is not as much as the past few days. I think it's just, taking a toll being 7 days out here. This is also the longest I've ever been out backpacking ever. So just being out here this long is an accomplishment. But yeah, definitely feeling low energy and also limping a little bit with the blisters. They're really hurting my heel. So I'm kind of scared to see what it actually looks like when I get to Shaws and can take off everything. Yeah, so I'm gonna try and get through these last few miles. I think I've finally reached it. And holy crap, am I exhausted. Let's see. There it is, out of the 100-mile wilderness. that was tough. That was probably the hardest physical exercise endeavor thing that I've ever done in my life. I'll go more into, you know, my overall thoughts on what the last 7 days were like, but overall, I think the shoes really screwed me. Feet are absolutely killing me, so I'm gonna get into Monson, try and figure this out. Probably take 2 zeros to sort out my feet and my shoes.